Hello. Welcome to School Health Presents, working with our exceptional individuals during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Dr. Rheipp, and this video is going to focus on you. So this goes out to our administrators, our teachers, our therapists, our parents, who right now are struggling to figure out how we can maintain that balance at home. We're getting a lot of information being shared with us, information about how to conduct online learning, information about when the buildings might be back open, and then that information changes and moves on. So what we need to remember is that in order to best support our individuals with exceptionalities and best support our students and our children, we need to stay balanced and calm ourselves. And in this day and age, there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. What's going to happen with our jobs? What's going to happen with so many of the different things we've got going on? So our focus on this video is, how do we find that time to relax? We've got so many things happening. What should we be doing? First and foremost, you need to find at least 5 minutes within the context of your day. Maybe that means getting up 5 minutes earlier, before the kids wake up, before things really start to blossom throughout the day. Maybe that means taking a 5-minute break, just stepping outside if the weather's all right for you to step outside. Just getting something going where you have that 5 minutes. What do you do during that 5 minutes? Well, you could do any number of things. One thing very simply to do are deep breaths. Just take a few deep breaths as you're going around. Take 10 of them, just as you're sitting somewhere comfortably. Why? That will begin to slow the body down. That will begin to allow you to really begin to get ready to face some of the stress and anxiety that you'll have to deal with throughout your day. Another thing you can do right from your chair. We hear about yoga at all points in time and working with yoga. And if you're out there practicing yoga, please continue to do so. If you are looking for someone who's able to guide you with it, there's all kinds of things on the internet. Or if you know a yoga instructor, see if they're doing something. Here in the Cleveland area, I've been in contact with Alicia McKean, and she's given me some great ideas to share with you in this video, but also has been working with some schools to put together programs that they can use in a video format for their students. We forget sometimes that yoga can be done right from a chair, something very simple. And that is, as you're sitting in the chair, sit with straight up, begin with just some breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you've done that, taking a couple of deep breaths that way, slowly, as you might say, reach for the sun. Just moving your arms up and coming together overhead. And once you've reached that, exhale, breathe out as you're bringing it back down and bringing yourself back in. Do that a couple of times just to center yourself. If you're not worried or you're thinking that yoga is something that does not necessarily agree with you, fine. Find something else that for you is relaxing that you can do. What about the sensory side? How do we deal with some of the anxiety going on? If you took a look at the sensory video already, you saw some of the ideas that we had. If you've got a bag of rice lying around, put that on your lap, use that as a lap pad. If you're preferring to use a lap pad and are making the rice as part of your meals, that's fine. When you've got your lap pad, no matter what it is, again, use it on your legs. If you have a lap pad that allows you to put even something like a sequin glue on it, or something that will allow you to have texture on it, do so. Why? Because again, you can be getting some additional feedback as you're doing anything with your students, with your children, and it's still using a lap pad to help keep things calm. When we talk about lap pads, animals make good lap pads, believe it or not. They just interrupt you sometimes when you're trying to do your work. But that's why sometimes having your cat or your dog lie in your lap, unless you've got a really big dog, then you need to be on a couch when the dog is lying in your lap. is so comforting sometimes because, again, they're helping you relieve some of the tensions of the day. The kids might have stuffed animals that are somewhat weighted. Have those as your lap pad, because what you can be doing too is modeling for them how you are remaining calm, and seeing something like a lap pad on your lap is actually going to be beneficial for them along the way. Another place that sometimes we put weighted things is right around the neck and on the shoulders. Why? This is like the imposition of hands, where you're just kind of calming things down, and it's just adding a little bit of pressure. Again, if you're doing this for yourself, make sure it's not too heavy. If you're looking to do it with your children or with students, make sure you've got an OT that you're working with. I never recommend for anything weighted more than 1/10 of an individual's body weight. There's too many issues that can come alongside if you're not careful with the weighting process. But for something like this, you might have, this is a fiber fill on the inside, so I know we're not going to have to change out on an annual basis, but you might be using something with rice or dried beans or dried corn in it too. Make sure you exchange those once a year, just so that you've always got something fresh in there and you're able to clean things. But too, in this way, just having that on for a few moments can actually be somewhat relaxing, because you've got that subtle pressure coming onto your shoulders. A lot of people also have lying around what's referred to as a neck massager. And so you could have that on, just getting some feedback as you go through. What a lot of people don't realize with a neck massager is that you can also use it just to get massage feedback wherever you're at. For some individuals, that relaxing time might come reading a book, and you might have your massager on while you're reading that book. And so what you want to do is see what you got there, or see some things that you might want to begin to use as part of your routine as you move forward. There's always a question about, how do we make things quiet? Well, there's a couple of different ways you can make things quiet. When I am working with neurotypical adults, especially teachers or therapists, or even you parents, I prefer that you do not use noise canceling headphones. Why? Because you don't know if there's an emergency that might come up that you need to react to. Out there right now are different types of headphones. These are simply noise reduction headphones. What they do is they dim the noise around you so that you can still pick up things that might be going on. Another thing you may be doing is putting your earbuds in and listening to things off of your phone, off of any other type of music player, or perhaps you're listening to a podcast. Make sure the volume is such that if there is an emergency that comes in, you're able to pick that up and deal with that. Because sometimes we might have a frightened young one coming in, or we might have something that we need to take phone call wise. So use noise reduction as opposed to noise canceling. And when you've got your headphones on, just watch the volume. Make sure the volume's at a level where you can still relax and listen, but at the same time you can pick up anything else that might be coming into play. People will also ask, well, what can I be doing to relax in the context of food or drink? Find yourself some nice tea, whether you're getting a chamomile tea or a stress relief tea. One of the things that you want to be cautious of and recognize fully is that you don't want to overload yourself with a lot of caffeine, because that can actually heighten anxiety and heighten tension as we're going on. I'm not saying you should stay away from coffee, and those of you who know me, don't worry, I'm still in my 1 pot a day. I haven't gone to 2 yet, so we're good there. But if you are going to drink coffee as part of this relaxation time, make sure that you've got 1 cup and that's what you're using. And it's just something that you're sipping and you're enjoying. You're taking in the actual taste of the coffee. You're smelling the coffee. Why? Because what we're trying to do at any point when it comes to relaxation and getting that sensory feedback is you're working to shut down the mind as best possible. And when we can't shut down the mind, when we're doing something like this, have those sensory things, whether you're creating them or making sure that you've got them lying around the house, have them available so that they are not going to interrupt your train of thought or what you're doing. Relaxation for you, first and foremost, is critical, and just that 5 minutes a day can help ground you and balance you for the rest of the day and everything else that we might be finding. If you have your kids around, or if you are working with a class, talk about this too. Talk about how they can be doing it at home. Have a family point in time, perhaps in your own homes, where you take a few minutes, where you're just relaxing, where it's just quiet time. Not the quiet time that you sometimes have to yell at the kids for, but an actual planned quiet time. Model what relaxation is. Relaxing is not simply vegging in front of the TV. Relaxing can be that if you're watching a movie together and you're all together, cuddled on a couch or something of that nature. But you first and foremost want to begin working with individuals right now as to how to slow the mind down. We are going to get through all of this together, but we need you. We need you to be as relaxed and as focused as possible. And so these are just a few ideas, and I thank Maggie Ficus for being the first one, and then multiple teachers coming after that to recommend this video for me. If you have other videos that you'd like to see, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to create them after I reach out and get the research done for them. I wish you all the best. Hope you all stay healthy and look forward to seeing you in our next video.